Hello and welcome to Business Television India. I'm Piyush Jain and you're watching FNO Spotlight. At present, markets are indeed seeing a surge in the PSU banks, and that's the theme for the last 15 minutes. We are seeing some strong sort of gains across Oriental Bank, Syndicate Bank, Union Bank, Allahabad Bank, IDBI Bank. The gains are anywhere in the range of 4 to 8%. In fact, IDBI Bank is on 9% up. There is also a good long build-up happening, and that's why again I did not take you to the benchmark indices, straight away to PSU banks. And we are seeing again a surge in Bank of India also. You are seeing Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, across again, whether it's Andhra Bank or PNB, you are seeing a one-side gains coming for PSU banks here. So now let's also bring Nifty PSU Bank Index, and that's looking interesting. And that's also the reason why again it's giving a sort of support to the Bank Nifty here. So let's bring Nifty PSU Bank Index. That's the index for you, 2% up for the day and looking interesting. Let's draw the 1 month chart and see how that's looking. Now PSU banks, they indeed have a higher delta treasury exposure. Bond yields have declined. That's a very good treasury gain perspective for June quarter, and that's how again it's looking. 9% increase for this month alone. Those have been standalone again, standout outperformers here. From that side, how's Bank Nifty looking at present? Bank Nifty is rebounded, and this is why again PSU Bank Index is indeed giving a very strong support to Bank Nifty here. The question is, what's the strategy now for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty and the stock strategies? And to decode that, now let me welcome Sharad Mishra, the partner at Sharad Mishra and Associates. Sharad, good morning.
Good morning.
First question, Bank Nifty. How's it looking to you? Yesterday we talked about how again it's looking like a positive setup. Nifty is now right again at 12,050. So fresh question, can a fresh long be initiated? And for the Bank Nifty, is it looking good enough for another sort of long setup?
Yeah, Piyush, actually Nifty and Bank Nifty are in bullish mode. Yesterday only I discussed with you that on Friday I initiated a long trade in Nifty.
And 12,050 was something.
Yeah, 12,100 was the target, and which has met yesterday only. Okay. So I think that one thing I would like to reiterate at the cost of repeating myself, that 11,700 is a very strong support for Nifty now, and 31,000 is a very strong support for Bank Nifty.
And you were telling the 7-8 put writing again is looking very strong.
Exactly. Now what has happened is that in case of any profit booking, any bad news, everything will be discounted at 11,700 in Nifty and 31,000 in Bank Nifty. Now, yesterday onward, a base has been building up for 12,000 in Nifty. And Bank Nifty is a bit jittery. So, the Nifty needs necessary support from Bank Nifty to go up. However, I have long trade in Nifty and Bank Nifty both. Nifty you can buy right now for a target of 12,250 with a stop loss of 11,980. So every dip has to be bought into. Today morning it was 12,050 around, and at that time trades were initiated. How you can buy right now also.
It's still at 55. So again we are only 5 points away from
exactly. So you can buy it right now. In Bank Nifty also you can buy right now with a stop loss of 31,450 for a target of 32,100. And both these trades are for a period of today till Friday. So we might see in Bank Nifty 32,100 coming till Friday.
Which is 500 points from here.
Exactly. And in Nifty we can see 12,250.
So the setup has expanded, structure has expanded.
Exactly.
And now we are talking about 150 points high levels for the Nifty here. So in a summary, is looking positive for both Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Now the question is, apart from indices, stock strategies. So which are your top picks for today?
The first,
or for the week?
Exactly. The first stock is for June expiry, which is SDFC Limited. We are seeing that if you look at NBFC is complying with asset liability risk framework of RBI, SDFC is better poised. Look at SDFC as a balance sheet. You have diversified borrowing, reasonable cash and cash equivalents. You have better asset liability management and higher ratings. So besides, if anything comes up which addresses the liquidity woes of NBFCs, obviously SDFC will be better poised to go up. SDFC was moving in an upward trend from 1880 till 2100 or so. It was traveling in a fair area in an equilibrium. Now it has given a breakout, and I'm expecting the price to go up to 2400. So the stop loss will be 2190. You can buy right now. The target will be 2400 rupees, okay, which will be a decent risk reward for SDFC Limited. The second trade with me is Bata India. Bata, we have seen that it had given a very good uptrend. It has consolidated in a symmetrical triangle, and you can buy right now Bata with a stop loss of 1320 rupees and for a target of 1500. And both this SDFC Limited and Bata are for June expiry. The third trade which I have is in Britannia. Britannia again, it had bottomed out. Now it is actually rising in a pattern called, it's a rising wedge. And I think that this pattern actually has the nature that it actually takes the prices down. But I think that this pattern will be busted and we will see an upside in Britannia and we will see 3180 in Britannia. So you can long right now with a stop loss of 2940 for first target of 3060 and second target of 3180.
Right. So a couple of stocks coming from Sharad. Sharad, just one follow-up question here. While again you talked about all these stocks again, from the perspective of momentum, is this week, is it largely looking good either for the financials or consumption? Because I'm just picking Britannia from consumption and trying to relate. Is it a sector-wide or is it the structure where you're finding more positive with Britannia?
Well, I think that I am looking at the sector. Yesterday only I discussed that in consumption there will be a good buy. So that's why I'm building upon that theme only. And yes, with good financials, I'm finding a buy at the lower levels. For example, in HDFC, since there's a breakout, and I was anticipating this breakout since last two weeks of May also, but it did not happen. Now that breakout has finally happened.
Okay, so it's looking indeed interesting. In fact, let's plot Nifty consumption index and let's see again how in the last 1 month, as Sharad just highlighting how again it's doing. That's HDFC for you, 13% on the trot again. The stock has been doing well. That's consumption index, in fact, 1 month high, and that is what relating to what Sharad is saying. And the index again is indeed showing some good bullish trends. And within that again, you got the pick from Sharad again, which stock to really focus on. So those are a couple of stocks. One sort of question, Sharad, we are seeing, and you just mentioned NBFCs. You picked out the best, the largest, HDFC from that. Apart from that, the gold ones, if there is anything you like, either Muthoot or Manappuram, if I may ask, if there is any other NBFC which you like in particular.
Manappuram is actually kind of overbought on charts right now. So that's, I want some kind of retracement in the stock so that I make fresh new buys.
So slightly from the lows, when the retracement happens, not on the momentum side.
Exactly. When the retracement happens, obviously it will become because it has given a one side move from 98 rupees to 135, 40 or so. So a good move has happened, right? I can share two more buys. For you. The first one is in Dabur. The same kind of setup which is there in HDFC Limited, a good up move. Now prices are traveling in a downward sloping fair area and fair value area, and I anticipate that there will be a breakout. A breakout has happened yesterday only. Today, obviously, it is kind of consolidation, and I think that this move will go up. So you can keep.
Which is the stock you're talking about?
I'm talking about Dabur.
Okay.
So you can buy in Dabur. You can keep a stop loss of 395 or so, and you can buy for a target of 438.
Okay, so 438, and that's a very strong target. Again, as you were just saying, it's almost 30 rupees, and that if I could translate 7 to 8% gains. So Dabur, let's bring the stock on the screen and let's again how in the last 1 month has done. At one point of time, it was 375, again consolidated, then again moved towards 400, then again consolidated, and finally again has broken out. Now again trading firmly about that here. And what Sharad is saying, another range expansion is going to happen towards 440 again, 437, 38 again, as Sharad talked about the target here. That's a stock for you. So once again, this affirms what we are just discussing. Consumption is indeed showing some very good sort of favor at present, and what we are actually should be expecting. In fact, as we move towards the budget, more pumping of the money into the economy, investors favoring coming back into consumption, expecting the government spending is going to boost up consumption, and let's not wait again. That's what perhaps investors are now really trying to think here. Dabur, Britannia, we talked about all of them. But let me try this and let me ask you HUL, if you like, if you are liking the structure.
Right.
So HUL, how is that? Because the stock has been trying to rebound over the last almost couple of days. We have seen again, and let's bring the stock on the screen before again Sharad gives his view. What HUL has done over the last almost 4 or 5 sessions, and that's the stock for you. Today 1% down, flip it into a 1 month chart. That will tell you from the lower level the stock is rebounded. That's the stock for you. Good sort of recovery from 1700 odd levels now to 1800 plus levels here. The question is the run up already over? And that's why we are seeing now the sort of second rung stocks like Dabur, Britannia making the move here.
HUL has given a good move. The resistance is at 1850 odd levels. If this resistance is taken out, then we can see HUL going up to 1890 or 1900 odd levels. But this will take, I think, July expiry or so.
Right. So this is it implies again this is the second preference. So Dabur and Britannia is what again Sharad is liking at present. So that's the word coming on a lot of stocks. Sharad, thanks a lot for coming on the show and sharing your insights on the index and stocks. We'll take a short break, but stay tuned as we return from the break. More strategies on stocks and index on the other side.